Putin knows he will be damned if he is first to use nuclear weapons. UK Foreign Office expects permission for Western weapon strike on Russia to be approved by early winter, and why FSB fails to establish coordination with Russian military forces in Kursk region. The latest news next. Kremlin leader, dictator Vladimir Putin and his generals are well aware that the first to use nuclear weapons will be damned. Polish President Andrzej Duda was commenting in an interview with TVN24 on the statement of Vladimir Putin, who on Wednesday evening again threatened to use nuclear weapons if there is any massive attack on Russia. The Polish president believes that the Russian leader's statements were nothing new. Duda said, "If we look at this in a cold-blooded way and without panic, it should be clear. He is repeating what has been enshrined in Russian military doctrine for many years, that Russia reserves the right to use any assets, including, of course, the nuclear assets at its disposal in case of threat to Russia." On the other hand, Vladimir Putin also knows very well, as do his generals, that the first to use nuclear weapons is the one who is damned. They would never absolve themselves of this responsibility if they use nuclear weapons. Not even to the slightest extent, never. The world would never forgive them. A decision to lift restrictions on Ukraine's use of long-range Western weapons against military targets in Russia may be made by early winter, reported by UK Foreign Secretary David Lammy in an interview with Voice of America, as reported by European Pravda. About details, Lammy stressed that he expected there to be a very strong position in the coming weeks to provide Ukraine with everything it needs. Quote, "We meet here at the UN General Assembly. I know that President Zelensky is meeting with President Biden a little bit later in the week, also in Washington. We will head on to the G20 summit in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, November 18-19, 2024 as well. So over the coming days and weeks, I expect us to be in a very strong position to ensure that Ukraine is in the best position it can be as we head into that tough winter in 2025, he said. In addition, the UK Foreign Secretary noted that the country's intelligence data showed that the situation for Kremlin leader Vladimir Putin will be more difficult next year. Quote, "His economy is in trouble. He is going to find it very problematic with the amount of losses and casualties that he is taking," the minister stressed. Meanwhile, he noted Ukraine's success, including in the Black Sea and Russia's Kursk region. Lammy added, "And actually, when you look at what Ukraine is doing, their ability to take back half the ground that's been lost, their ability to repel him from the Black Sea, their ability to advance in Kursk and hopefully keep the ground, this is a time for Western countries to show their nerve and to be absolutely committed as we head out of the autumn into the winter period." U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has confirmed the intention to allocate $5.55 billion under the Presidential Weapons Stockpile Reduction Authority for weapons and equipment for Ukraine in the coming weeks and months. Blinken stated the department notified Congress of the intent to direct the drawdown of up to approximately $5.55 billion in defense articles and service from DOT stocks for military assistance to Ukraine under Presidential Drawdown Authority. This is in addition to the previously announced funds under the Ukraine Security Supplemental Appropriations Act 2024, which expires on the 30th of September 2024. Blinken explained, "We are taking this step to ensure this authority does not expire and the United States can fully utilize the funding appropriated by Congress." He added, "By doing so, the United States will be able to continue to provide a surge in defense articles and services to Ukraine from DOT stocks under planned drawdowns in the weeks and months ahead." Blinken said the United States is committed to supporting the Ukrainian military with the equipment necessary to strengthen their position on the battlefield, protect their territory and people from the brutal aggression of the Kremlin, and achieve victory in this war to ensure a just, lasting and comprehensive peace. 3 people have been killed and 11 others injured as a result of Russian morning strike on the city of Izmail in Odessa region, reported by Oleg Kipper, head of Odessa Region Military Administration, on Telegram. Quote, "The enemy resorted to large-scale terror against Izmail in the early morning. The Russians launched attack drones on our region's southern part. The combat efforts by the air defense forces were long and intense. Sadly, 3 people were killed as a result of the attack, 2 women aged about 90 and 69 and a 73-year-old man. 11 people were injured, including a child. About details, houses and apartment buildings as well as outbuildings and vehicles were damaged as a result of the attack. In addition, keepers said several fires had broken out but had been quickly extinguished. Russian troops launched a missile attack on Kryvyi Rih, Dnipropetrovsk region on the morning of the 27th of September, hitting the National Police headquarters. There are reports that people have been injured as a result and that some people may be trapped under the rubble, reported by National Police on Telegram. Serhiy Lysak, head of the Dnipropetrovsk Region Military Administration, on Telegram. Quote, "In the morning, the enemy launched a missile attack on the district police department. It is currently known that people have been injured as a result. Details. Reports indicate that there may be people under the rubble. The attack destroyed an administrative building and damaged houses located nearby. Police and rescue workers are currently working at the scene, and law enforcement officers are documenting and collecting evidence of another Russian war crime." Updated. Later, the head of Dnipropetrovsk Region Military Administration said that a 45-year-old man had already been hospitalized. He is in a moderate condition. An administrative building was also destroyed and houses were damaged. The Russian Federal Security Service, FSB, is attempting to coordinate combat operations with the Russian military despite its role in overseeing the counter-terrorism operation against the so-called Ukrainian incursion in the Kursk region, reports the Institute for the Study of War. The report references a publication in the Russian opposition outlet Novaya Gazeta Europe, which identified an FSB Special Forces soldier killed in combat in the Kursk region in August 2024. This information confirms that elements of Russia's FSB Special Forces are actively engaged in the region. According to the outlet, an officer from the FSB assigned the task to Special Forces units, including fighters from the Alpha and Wimpel groups, to detect and eliminate Ukrainian sabotage and reconnaissance groups in the Kursk region. However, the officer noted that these special forces are poorly suited for combined arms combat involving heavy equipment against regular armed forces. ISW pointed out that FSB special forces typically conduct counter-terrorism operations against small terrorist groups and are likely not adequately trained or equipped to face Ukrainian military units carrying out combined attacks. Another source close to Russian intelligence informed Novaya Gazeta Europe that the FSB Special Operations Center lacks joint communication with Russian military units and that there is still no joint command center for coordinating combat operations between the FSB and the Russian military. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.